announcement of the second season of the Transformers Netflix series, we gotta look back at the second trailer for Siege. There was one character that had a lot of people very not happy about his voice. So today, we will be looking at his figure. We will be looking at Leader Class Siege Shockwave. And here we have Siege Shockwave in his excellent looking battleship mode. Now this was the first Leader Class figure I got, and you know, Ultra Magnus is good. He's still a good figure, but this figure I feel like does it a little bit better. But let's go more deeper into this. Now, this is a good looking battleship. So you got the Shockwave eye right there, you got the cool looking thing, I don't know what to call this, pipe. You got the cannons, and you have so many places to put your siege blast effects. Everywhere. Here, here, here. There, here, here. The holes right here. So you got a lot of spots to have your fun play with. And this is a big, hefty sized warship. Now, you know, Transformers, their sizes have been fluctuating lately. And I feel like this does feel like a good leader class figure. Something I did not do on camera is I did not pull out the... Did not pull out the landing gear. So there, now it stays perfectly. And, you know, as you know, all of this is mainly just armor. So let's get this figure out of his armor and show off what his true vehicle mode looks like. And here we have Shockwave in his gun mode. And it's alright. I mean, I'm glad we got this. They could have just made him turn into that. But having this gun mode actually is nice. You know, Shockwaves have not been turning into guns. They've been sticking more to tanks and all that stuff. So having a good conversion to gun is alright. And it doesn't look bad if you flip him over this way and flip out the fins again. Come on. If you flip him out this way, then he does still kind of look like a ship a little bit. So it still works out, and I think Hasbro did really well in trying to make this incorporated into a gun. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the vehicle mode. There isn't really much to say about this because, you know, it's just the gun. He does not have any wheels. You could still make him stand with the landing gear. That's about it. So let's transform him into his robot mode, and this is where the good stuff comes in. And here we have Shockwave in his masterpiece level robot mode. And this, I feel like, is a perfect figure. If they sold this at Voyager price, because, you know, this is the size of a Voyager, I'd be happy. But I'm glad they put this at a leader price, because I'd honestly pick this up again if I had to. I did buy him with a coupon, though. And I do think the coupon did help me want to buy this figure. So this figure is the spitting image of being G1 accurate, and actually has light piping. Not a lot of figures have that lately. Well, a couple in Siege, but, you know, it's not really common. So you got the cannon arm, you got the normal hand, you got some excellent posability in this figure, and a G1 accurate backpack. Now, this figure, I feel like, is, like I mentioned, masterpiece level looks-wise. But in posability, he's still pretty good. He can look all the way around with a swivel at the neck. T-pose, his shoulders can move up, has a swivel there. He has a swivel at the cannon and a swivel at his wrist, right there. He has a swivel at the waist, can spread, and has a swivel right here, and an awful, not that good pivot, but you could still get some poses with that. So yeah, that's about it. And he does have some siege blast effects on him that you could place. You got 2 on the shoulder and 1 in his hand, so you can make him look like he's shooting at Autobots or whatever. So yeah, this is a great looking figure in this mode, but as you saw, he is a bit of a parts former if you want him to be in his battleship mode. So what do all those parts convert to? Well, let's find out. And here we have the hoverboard mode, and it's fine, I guess. So my issue with this is that these don't lock in more, and I feel like even if you flip it around like this way, it still doesn't lock in good enough. And I don't really use this as a hoverboard much, you know, in stop motion. I just use this as an energon transport. But the idea for this figure is that this is a workstation for Shockwave to stand on, and with the blast effect ports on the feet, you can put him on. At least I don't do this often with my Siege Shockwave, so you can put him on, and he can stand on there, looking, I don't know, traveling around. I don't know what he'd use this for. Let me just move this because he's gonna get taller in a minute. But yeah, it's all right. It's not my favorite, and let's take this off. It's not my favorite thing, but it's cool. Now let's go into the other thing you could use this armor for. And here we have Shockwave in what I like to call his armor mode. And it is a very nice idea, but did they execute it well? I think they did. I think they did the best they could. Now you do get some more siege blast effects being here, and on the cannons, and on the toes, and there. But this doesn't really feel like Shockwave. I mean, Shockwave isn't really the fighter, he's a scientist. And I like to think of this as his last resort, his armor to help him fight. Kind of like Ultra Magnus or the Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime. But I do think some leader class figures did this armor idea better, but it is still a good idea. So the back does become a nice looking backpack, which I guess is an easy way to clean this up. I love these extra feet. I think these are actually very nice. And the arms, I guess, are cool. That unpegged. And he does have the same posability as you would have on an arm with a swivel there. And this does add some extra height to Shockwave. But let's go into size comparison and go into my closing thoughts on this figure. For size comparisons, here is normal Shockwave with Iron Tread, Blitzwing, Sound Barrier, Sideswipe, Grapple, Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime. And let's also throw in Soundwave, Starscream, and Siege Megatron. And with his armor on, here is Iron Tread, Blitzwing, Sideswipe, Sound Barrier, Grapple, and Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime, and Soundwave, Starscream, and Megatron. So, is this figure worth the leader class price? Looking back at this figure and looking at this all together, they could have sold this as a Voyager. I mean, the armor is cool, but I feel like a lot of figures, like Earthrise Optimus Prime and Astro Train, really pulled off the extra bits thing better than Shockwave. I mean, it's not a good carrying thing, like, to help him fly. It's not a good armor, but it makes a nice looking ship. But like I said, this could easily be pulled off as a ship upside down, or a boat like they did with Titan Turn 6-Shot. But I do think this figure is very good, and if you can find it for a good deal, I say get him. So this figure was very, very, very common to find at your local stores because they overstocked him. So you could probably find him everywhere, and this figure does look great standing next to all your modern day Generations figures. And I think anyone will have a good time with this figure, even with his faults and all. So if you like this figure, go find him. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, guys.